What's up, you guys? It's Paul here from the 9 to 5 Investors Club channel. In this video, I want to give you a quick update on Trump's health situation with regards to COVID. I'll also give you a quick update on the stock market as well as some options plays that I've made for this month, okay? So the quick update on Trump's health is that he seems to be doing relatively well. The doctor said he's doing well and meets all standard hospital discharge criteria, which was why he was actually discharged from the Walter Reed Medical Center earlier this evening around 6:30 p.m. and he headed back to the White House. Okay, now obviously back in the White House he's going to still receive continued medical attention until he fully recovers, but as of now he's going to continue his 5-day course on remdesivir. Okay, now he did decline to answer repeated questions about when his last negative test was, and also he refused to give information on Trump's lung scans and everything because obviously he still needs to maintain a little bit of doctor-patient confidentiality, and so he cited patient privacy regulations for not revealing all of that. Okay, now having said all that, Trump's still being very optimistic. He's being very positive about how he's going to get over it. He made some comments that he's feeling better than ever now, and a big part of it also has to do with the fact that he is running for re-election. Okay, he still needs to appear strong. He still needs to appear fit because people may not want to vote for a person who looks like he's not in very good health, because he still would have to run the country for the next 4 years. Okay, so a lot of it still does have to do with all of that. So we wouldn't completely know how well he's doing. Like I mentioned in my previous video, if you compare it with Boris Johnson's situation, he had his worst actually around day 7 or 8. So Trump is not there yet. I think this is still day 5 if I'm not wrong. So we'll still keep an eye out for it. But the good news for that in terms of investing is people saw this as positive news that Trump is out of the medical center, that he's feeling much better. He did show himself to bystanders later on when he was driving by, and he gave the impression to people that he's doing much better, which is always good news for investors because that's what they want to see. Okay, uncertainty is always what leads to a lot of volatility in the market, and if he can show people that he's all good and ready to go again, that tends to give investors some confidence. Okay, so that's exactly why we saw a pretty decent sized move in the market today. The SPY is up 1.77%. I was also watching some resistance and support lines along the way. This is just to give me an idea of where I think the market might move. If you watch my channels, I don't day trade, so that's exactly why I don't typically look at every single technical indicator. So if you're a very strong technical indicator and wants to look at every single indicator before you place any trade, then unfortunately this channel is not for you. But I like looking at some support and resistance lines because it helps me decide when is a good time to jump in from a long-term perspective. Okay, so for example, when I created the support and resistance lines here, I drew this line over from the previous side before we saw this correction, and my expectation was that this could be a potential support, and that's exactly what happened here. Okay, now we started reverting back. We shot through the 50-day moving average, which is the green line here, came back down yesterday, and we are going back up. So again, the 50-day moving average could potentially be a support at this point. Okay, now another resistance line that I'm looking at, which we failed twice here, was actually the previous 52-week high before we saw the crash in March. Okay, so we have to see how this goes around tomorrow. I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for it. We may retest it here and shoot back up potentially, and it may go down, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually trade sideways for a little bit until election. Okay, so obviously there's still a lot of volatility. Even the Bollinger Band that you're looking here, it's turning a little parallel, which usually also is a bit of a sign that we may trade sideways for a bit. So those are the key levels that I'm watching. Okay, so in terms of place, the first thing I did was actually to place an iron condor expiring on October 30th, which is a few days before election. And again, this is based on the fact that I think SPY might trade in a channel. Okay, so the way I picked my strike prices were on the call credit side, I bought the 352 call and sold the 350 call, and on the put credit side, I bought the 318 put and sold the 320 put. Okay, so combination of a call credit spread and a put credit spread is an iron condor, in case you didn't know about that. Okay, and the way this works is I need SPY to stay above 320 and below $350. And the way I came up with $350 is at the beginning of the day, SPY was trading around 334, 335, and I chose a strike price about 5% above where SPY was trading. Okay. I could have potentially chosen a higher strike price at this point, but like I said, I went with a 5% move above where it was trading earlier this morning, which as you can see is pretty close to the peak, which was actually around 358. But that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm shooting for, guys. I'm expecting volatility over the next 3-4 weeks until election at least. And in case SPY does go about 350 or getting very close to it, what I would essentially do is I would push out this call credit spread by closing this out and opening a newer one, let's say by the 358 call and sell the 356 call or something like that, okay? So that's how I'm playing SPY right now. Another thing I'm doing is actually with Tesla here. So if you actually look at how Tesla has been behaving as well, you'll see that Tesla has strongly been staying above the 50-day moving average for a long time now. Even here, it bounced off the 50-day moving average. Even on September 23rd, intraday, it did bounce off of it and then started shooting back up. And even this one is kind of trading sideways right now between this high and this on the 50-day moving average. So what I did was I placed another iron condor for Tesla. In this iron condor for Tesla, again, what I did was I bought a call credit spread where I bought the 500 call and sold the 490 call, and on the put credit side, I bought the 365 put and sold the 375 put. Okay, now what that means is I need Tesla to stay above 375 or below 590, which is again based on this particular channel here where 375 is close to the 50-day moving average and the 500 is close to the all-time high. Okay, and that's how I ended up with this iron condor. I just sold 2 of those iron condors and I got a credit of 1,020 here. And as long as Tesla stays between these two values, these two strike prices, I'm going to keep the full credit. Okay, now the brokers will still hold about $2,000 in cash collateral, but that's exactly how credit spreads work because that's the difference between these strike prices. Okay, on both the call and put credit sides. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys here today. Quick update on Trump's health, quick update on the stock market, as well as some of the options plays that I'm making in the short term. As I mentioned in some of my older videos, I'm being pretty careful with just buying calls or puts at this point because of this volatility. When there's a lot of sideways price movement or sideways price action, a lot of premium in the options tends to get crushed, which is exactly why trading spreads is a lot safer option at this point, okay? I'm also looking at the futures market here. It still seems to be pretty flat as of now, but I'll keep an eye out for it, see how it opens up tomorrow. In my previous video, I talked about how the futures were up about 0.5%, which gave you an idea that market might open in the green. It's not that clear yet here. We'll see how it's going to behave tomorrow, but as of now, in my opinion, spreads are the best way to deal with this market. Okay. So another quick reminder, guys, if you want to join my free Discord group, I actually send these trade alerts live to you guys straight to the Discord app. See, I recommended the iron condor here pretty much as soon as I placed it earlier this morning. A couple of trades from last week as well. The SPYG call is actually up 60% in the last 1 week. The same with the Facebook and Apple calls, which I mentioned in the previous videos as well. They've shot up quite a bit, up 56% on Facebook, up 118% on Apple. So if you want to get live trade alerts again straight to your Discord app, be sure to sign up through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Okay, it's completely free and I'd love to have you on here. Okay, so if you enjoyed the video, guys, please just smash the like button, leave a comment below if you want to share your thoughts or have any questions. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and hit that notification bell. Okay, thanks again for watching and until next time.